The U.S. drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani while in Iraq brought U.S.-Iraqi relations to an inflection point. The Iraqi parliament, pressured by Iran-backed militias, passed a non-binding resolution for the U.S. to withdraw its troops, although many Iraqis want the U.S. to stay. Before they sign the divorce papers, however, officials in Baghdad and Washington must consider why staying together is the best for both them and for the Middle East. Here are 8 important reasons to mend the relationship. A continued U.S. military presence in Iraq, modest as it may be, is essential to the enduring defeat of the Islamic State, which wreaked havoc in Iraq and across the Middle East. And although ISIS has been deprived of its top leader and most of its territory, it remains a worrisome regional threat. One of Qasem Soleimani's objectives was kicking the U.S. troops out of Iraq. If the United States withdraws now, it will hand him the victory in death that he failed to achieve in life. The United States has invested precious lives and resources to help establish a sovereign, stable, and democratic Iraq. But Iranian interference threatens to undermine Iraq's progress. For the present, Iraq has not been lost to Iran. Iraq is one of the world's top oil exporters and has huge reserves for the future. The U.S. presence protects those assets for the American, Iraqi, and global economies. However, if the United States leaves, Iran would effectively gain increasing control of vast energy and financial resources. A U.S. departure would force Jordan, Iraq's neighbor, to contend with a new set of security challenges. The kingdom's military and intelligence resources, already stretched thin along the border with Syria, would now have to protect the longer and much more remote border with Iraq. Almost all of the Gulf Cooperation Council states perceive U.S. forces in Iraq as the foundation for American military units they host on their own soil, and as vital to their self-defense against Iran. A withdrawal from Iraq would indicate a lack of U.S. commitment to protecting its Gulf allies. U.S. withdrawal would give Iran and the Islamic State a freer hand to operate inside Iraq, likely spreading across the porous border into Syria and ultimately to Israel's own frontiers. Limiting Israeli involvement means avoiding Israeli strikes against Iran inside Iraq, which would be better for Iraq and for the U.S. U.S. withdrawal would drastically limit the ability of Europeans to continue training Iraq's counterterrorism units, one of the most important pro-Western stabilizing forces in the country. American troops protect our significant investment in a sovereign, stable, and democratic Iraq. Their removal would create a vacuum that would be fair game to Iran or ISIS. By retaining U.S. forces in Iraq and increasing our political and economic support, the U.S. would continue to promote stability in this fragile and explosive region.